Uh-oh.
Okay, we'll start with this. What is our continued coverage of all of this past weekend's action? Matchroom Mexico, south of the border. Erica Cruz, WBA Super Bantamweight champion, successfully, more or less successfully, defended her WBA title against unbeaten Argentinian up-and-comer Nazarena Romero. And I have to admit, I underestimated Erica's resolve and overestimated Nazarena's ability. This is the one prediction that I got wrong this weekend.
I picked Nazarena Romero to knock out Erica Cruz, but the fight went the distance and it was scored a draw.
And I don't think it should have been. I actually think Erica Cruz did enough to win a decision. I feel like she beat Nazarena Romero.
Very lucky.
She stayed an unbeaten fighter that night, but as far as I'm concerned, Erica beat her. She did beat her. She did outdog her. I guess it just came down to veteran experience and having been in wars already. Erica Cruz was already in a war with one of the hardest punchers in the sport, Amanda Serrano. And she survived that war, finished that fight on her feet. In this one, she outdogged the younger, less experienced fighter.
That's what happened.
How it happened. Erica Cruz was able to stay in character, changing levels as she barrels forward, bobbing and weaving. She didn't give Nazarena Romero a clear target. Nazarena's a bit more textbook than Erica. They're both pressure fighters, but one fighter's style is a lot more conventional than the others, whereas Erica, she's unorthodox and awkward.
It's not dissimilar from what you see with Emmanuel Navarrete.
He does these things that seemingly leave him open to be countered, leave him open for punches, but he gets away with them. Erica Cruz gets away with it.
It's the same thing.
I was surprised at how flustered Nazarena Romero looked in there, seemingly trying to time Erica Cruz for a big counter. Erica Cruz, who was so obviously outworking her, throwing punches in bunches. Some were getting in, some weren't. But what you could see clear as day is Erica's a lot busier, and she's staying in character.
Where Nazarena's confused.
Hesitant and tentative, as she doesn't have a clear target when Erica Cruz is bobbing and coming forward, bringing over looping shots, because there are punches coming at Nazarena. She can't see a clear target, can't get her timing down right.
Before she knows it, Erica's all over her.
I still think Nazarena is a bigger puncher than Erica Cruz. It's her delivery. She couldn't deliver the power. Power by itself. Power doesn't mean nothing if you can't land. And Nazarena couldn't land the power shots.
Erica exposed her.
What is an often overused term in the sport of boxing, exposed, when a fighter is exposed. What did Erica expose about Nazarena? And what she exposed are the limitations in Nazarena's arsenal, her punches.
She didn't use the right ones.
Looked like the whole time Nazarena Romero was trying to set up a big right hand, a straight right or a right cross, but Erica Cruz is bobbing and weaving on her way in, so you don't have a clear target for a head punch. What she should have used, tried to, was an uppercut.
If Erica's hunkering down or leaning off to the side, give yourself a little bit of room, take a half step back, shoot the upper.
Instead, Nazarena seemed determined to land a big right hand or a right cross, looking to do her in with a single punch, not amassing enough damage round by round.
There were a few exchanges, and at times, Nazarena did get in with some good shots, but she just wasn't doing enough. Not for me. Not doing enough damage.
She couldn't get her timing down right, her spacing, and she wasn't using the right shots, the right punches for an opponent that's barreling forward, hunkered down. Was a lack of experience is what it was. That's what I saw. That's what Erica exposed on Nazarena. She just wasn't ready for a fighter like herself. She's used to being the pressure fighter, though not used to handling pressure.
What now?
Nazarena is very fortunate to still be an unbeaten fighter with now 2 draws in the column. The draw with Mayerlin Rivas and the draw this past weekend with Erica. Where she goes from here, I'm not completely sure. The WBA might decide to order a rematch between them. They might, because this fight was scored a draw.
And if they don't?
Erica Cruz, the still reigning WBA Super Bantamweight champion, can resume her pursuit of unification matches at this weight with the other 2 champions that are there. Unified champion Ali Scottney
Of Catford.
or the winner of the upcoming Yamilet Mercado versus Ramla Ali fight for what still is Yamilet's WBC title. You have to figure that if the WBA doesn't order an immediate rematch between Erica and Nazarena, the door is open for Erica to pursue any one of them. Congratulations to her, even though the fight was scored a draw. Looked to me like she won. I felt she won. I thought Nazarena would unseat her, but she didn't. I call this another successful defense of the WBA title.
One thing that Team Garcia is pointing out is Victor Conti and that he has a close relationship with Wada.
Yeah. I mean, he has a very close relationship with Wada, and also what's confusing me, and I was just saying this on a thing, that Victor Conti owns Snack, which Snack has all the fighters, but Victor Conti is known for doing steroids and having steroids, and he has a part in Wada, whatever it is. He's a part of Wada. So if you take all that considerations, I mean, the thing, it seemed like it's rigged anyway. If you have all the boxes of Snack doing this, I mean, Ryan...
Former champion and pound-for-pound alum, Shane Mosley is pointing the finger at Victor Conti for what is Ryan Garcia's failed anti-doping test.
That's how it looks to Shane.
And perhaps in the court of public opinion, that might hold some sway. But adjudication for Ryan's situation will not be reached in the court of public opinion.
Convince as many people as you like
that there is a conspiracy against you involving Bill Haney, Devin Haney, Victor Conti, and Vada, unless you can substantiate that claim with some tangible evidence of foul play, a plot, a clandestine effort, something that proves what it is you're saying. It's not proof of anything. It's not proof at all. It's just your word.
And why the fuck should we take you at your word when you admitted you were lying the whole time? Mental illness, mental issues. It was all an act.
You lied before. How do we know that you're not lying now? Even if Shane Mosley is backing you up in all of his annotations, his anecdotes aren't the only ones that are out there.
And Casey, a guy that can educate us more on these supplements right here. Casey, thank you for joining the show.
So thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. Respect everybody on here. I am educated. I'm not a doctor. I have a bachelor's and a master's in phys ed, exercise science, and minor in nutrition. Okay, so I have a dual degree here on both sides. So I'm just going to put one thing just to clear something up. There was a coach, okay, who's world renowned. His name is Dave Honig. He told me that he was involved in Ryan's weight cut, and he told me you guys were doing all kinds of things. He started at 156, he went down to 143, and you guys were doing baths, and Ryan didn't want to listen to some of the things that he wanted him to do, and so forth. And I don't know if he was really involved in your camp or not, but this is what he told me, and he says he got popped for this and that. So that's what he told me. So I have those direct messages. So I just want to put that out there. I'm not coming at anybody. I'm just talking about facts over feelings. Like you're saying. Hold on one second. I've done diagnostics. I've administered these items. Okay, and with the whole testing process, every substance, regardless if it's legal or illegal, is analyzed by the half-life of it being in your system. So the ostarine that tested positive, that might have, who knows what, that was in something that obviously it could have been such a low amount that the half-life is very weak in the system. And the NOR-19 item is a pill. So when your son posted ashwagandha, it was almost synonymous of the NOR-19 product that is a pill, that is a pro-hormone. That retains in your body. There are metabolites, even after the test, that remain. It could be minor amounts, but they could remain in your bloodstream, which could yield a positive initially, okay? And it could also stay in your system where it doesn't come up as a positive because the half-life was being timed on its way out. So, and like I said, I'm with Zab Judah, Yoel Judah. That's my team. I've done work with Danny Jacobs, Monty Barrett. I've conditioned these fighters. I put a lot of fighters on this to educate the world about the sport and how it's getting
Okay. All right, wait. Hey, hang on. Slow down.
Everybody's weighing in. Shane Mosley, that Casey guy on Mill City Boxing, Victor Conti, of course, saying Ryan Garcia tested positive for Osterin on April 19th. He was dehydrated from the weight cut.
Right?
60 times the allowable limit was found. Dosage, frequency, and length of exposure all affect clearance time, usually a few days to several weeks. He was not tested 10 months before.
What is he saying?
It sounds like what Victor is saying is what they found in Ryan's system could have been something that he was using many months before the fight. But there are those out there who won't take it from Victor because Victor's supposed to be part of the conspiracy. Well, what about Victor's arch nemesis, Memo Heredia, who said 60 times higher than the allowed limit by the New York State Athletic Commission? Remember, those are urinary concentrations. Now imagine, what were his blood concentrations? Urinary concentrations means nothing. It's considered a quote-unquote waste of drug, inactive. You guys are forgetting that. Bloggers of hell.
What's he implying?
That what they found was a byproduct of a drug, the waste of a drug that Ryan used. A Twitter user that goes by the name Danito2K asked, question, why is Showbiz the adult content creator here on YouTube saying Ryan had a billionth of a tenth of Osterin in his system and the commission can likely say it didn't affect his performance and he could be cleared? This guy is going so hard after Ryan gave him a follow.
He's defending him.
Memo responded by saying because he's an ignorant groupie that has no idea about testing. IV's usage, in my experience, were used to dilute and mask PEDs by increasing clearance time and decreasing PED concentration. It's siempre. Why will Ryan use IVs when they're banned by VADA and...
Ryan used IVs?
There is a video of him out there using one. Memo continued, unless he was given a green light, exempt to use. Did he? It sounds like what Angel's implying is that Ryan may have been given clearance, a therapeutic use exemption to use an IV, and using that IV could mask or could have been masking the drugs he's been using, but he must have miscalculated. Now Ryan himself, he took to his social media and said, Devin, fuck it, let's run it again. If you feel you were cheated, we can run it again. I'll only eat oysters for the training camp, and I won't sleep.
There's money in a rematch.
Controversy like this one, people are going to want to see if lightning can strike twice. If lightning can strike twice for Ryan Garcia, or can Devin avenge the loss now that Ryan is under a microscope?
The problem.
Devin's trying to win another way, win another kind of battle. Devin Haney, according to Lance Pugmire, Devin Haney's attorney, Pat English, has written an 8-page letter to the New York State Athletic Commission asking the body to disqualify Ryan Garcia following his positive test result for Osterin. The story's coming to Boxing Scene shortly.
There's a difference between them disqualifying Ryan and ruling it a no contest. If it's ruled a no contest, there's no outcome. But if they disqualify Ryan, it registers as a win for Devin.
And I don't know that they're going to do that. A no contest seems more likely, and in a no contest situation, there's no outcome, so the loss would be stricken from Devin's record, but he wouldn't get the win either.
And it seems to be the win that he's after.
If he wants it ruled a DQ and not an NC. It's a sordid affair that's ongoing. These are just the facts of the matter.
Все нормально, порешаем. Да, порешаем.
I'm sure most of you have heard by now that earlier today, Big John Fury was doing Big John Fury things.
Big blowhard Fury.
He so obviously mounted an unprovoked attack on a member of Usyk's team. And the guy wasn't doing nothing. He was just trying to make his way through the crowd when John Fury attacked him. John Fury, who has now apologized for headbutting a member of Usyk's team. Sincere apologies to everyone involved. It's just the way we are. Emotions and tensions are running high. He was a very disrespectful fella. If you come close in a fighting man's space...
He didn't disrespect you. He didn't say anything to you.
You were just trying to throw your weight around, the way you always do. And all that came out of it, the only blood that you spilled was your own.
Idiot.
If you come close in a fighting man's space, you're gonna cop for something. What matters to me is respect for my son, and he wasn't showing any of it. He mentioned my son.
No, he didn't. He didn't even say anything.
And that was it. So he had to have it. It doesn't bother me bleeding. It's what we live for. We're fighting people. That's a regular occurrence to me.
I think it's a more regular occurrence to the kid because even though he's a lot smaller than John Fury, he didn't have a scratch on him.
A kid that goes by the name Stanislav Stepchuk, who said, I was just supporting our team. We were only shouting, Usyk, Usyk. I didn't touch him. He went crazy. Yeah, I wanted to punch him, but because of the age difference, it would not be very fair. He should not look for an actual fight because he could have a heart attack and finish in the ambulance.
He wasn't looking for an actual fight. He was just looking to pick on someone who was smaller than he is.
He was in a couple of guys' faces before he headbutted that kid. He literally picked the smallest guy in the room, headbutts him, and all that came out of it was he drew his own blood in combat. The only one that got hurt was John Fury.
Because that little guy was no worse for wear.
Another episode of Boxing Dads. Boxing Dads are us in the sport of boxing. Boxing Dads who perhaps take it a bit too far.
You think?
Making it about themselves when it's not about them. We're not here to see John Fury fight. We're here to see Tyson Fury fight and Alexander Usyk. Not their fathers, not their uncles or their cousins, not members of their team.
No.
A regular occurrence in the sport right now, whether you're talking about Angel Garcia or Henry Garcia.
Teofimo Lopez Sr.
To a lesser extent, Bill Haney. But Bill Haney, while he talks a lot, he does talk a lot, he spends that time promoting his son. He doesn't really make it about himself the way that those guys do, the way that John Fury does. You can just tell he's trying to live vicariously through his son and what his son has going on, what his son is doing, because you yourself, you're not here to fight. You had the chance to fight Mickey Theo if it was a fight you were looking for.
Clearly it wasn't.
You're gonna go after the smallest guy in the room. Guy's not doing nothing to you. He's not saying nothing. In what is an unprovoked attack, when you hurt yourself,
It's no less than you deserve. I don't care how old you are.
it's what John Fury likes to do. He likes to hoop and holler, scream and shout, and throw his weight around, like he tried to throw his weight around to Carl Frampton. Do you remember that?
When he was talking down to him.
Came very close to biting off more than he could chew earlier today because that kid, that headbutt didn't bother him at all. There wasn't a scratch on him. And it looks like he was going to go after John if John hadn't have darted into the crowd like a coward.
That's the kind of people you're dealing with.
You wonder that this isn't a microcosm for this weekend's mega fight between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk, that you can hoop and holler and make all the noise you want, but in the end, you're only going to get yourself hurt.
That's what John did.
I don't think that's a good omen for Tyson Fury because Tyson Fury is just as loud, just as boisterous and talkative as his father is. We see where he gets it from. We see how it ended for John during fight week. How's it going to end for Tyson?
I remember when Clarissa's younger brother attacked James Ali Bashir ahead of what was the Ivana Habazin fight. Perhaps this is why members of the family shouldn't be so close to the action.
Tensions and emotions are running high. Perhaps some cannot control themselves, and perhaps that's the reason they shouldn't be so close to what's going on. They get carried away. It's not about them. It's not about you. You're a background character. So stay in the background.
Take the hint.
Because John Fury, he wore out his welcome. His charm wore off a long time ago.